Good evening, America, and with the messenger of Third Eye Knowledge. Welcome to the program. If you like it, share it, subscribe. But when I ask my viewers to share this, I ask that you share it in emails for your family and friends. Um, there's been a lot of talk on the internet about Trump possibly winning another term, how he's winning another term, and people have been debating back and forth on the situation in the working class and low-income communities of this country. I, myself, having a position, part-time maintenance with the Ray Kroc Corporation, franchised by P&D Management, it's the economy is atrocious. A lot of you across the social media spectrum are still trying to give amicable support of our so-called commander-in-chief making this country great again, and that obviously America is not the case. How could have been avoided is also a major issue that people discuss online. So I thought I would make a video about 8 minutes of America's time on how we could possibly avoid this. We, in living in 2020, are still making mistakes that are easily dismissible, because a lot of us, especially maybe conventional old school individuals whom believe cracking the book is more appropriate and more informative than Google, that may not be the case anymore. Across the spectrum in this country, we should not really be in this boat. How can this be avoided? Could have utilized social media to not vote for Donald Trump. Maybe changing our ideal in American politics, because this system of politics in America, number one, is not the traditional American government anymore, and number two, hasn't worked in over 40 years. We're still telling, again, I will repeat this on my channel until I'm to my last breath, we're still telling our children in the school system to put the phones away, when we should be telling them, if you want to become a brain surgeon, utilize further education and YouTube or whatever the case may be, as well as working with real live brain surgeons, obviously America, but why are we not utilizing these engines? Some of you that are on social media complaining about not being able to do or having qualities or skills to apply for said work, maybe entry-level employment in food service, auto mechanics, whatever the case may be, America, utilize YouTube tutorials. What I'm saying to the country this evening, we need to jump forward in our time, and if our government isn't going to do it, us as a country, a society, should do this. I learned everything I learned firsthand, but a lot of us in this country right now, especially the younger generation, do not have that time and or resources at their disposal, because a lot of this technology that we need is not at the working class and low income disposal. It's up to the country now, and until we start spreading these videos like this, we're not going to get anywhere. And sources have been checking out that Trump may be getting another 4 years. Dictators and bad people eventually get to the top. Was this coming is a question that I've been getting from viewers and up for discussion between viewers and social media. Every 100 years in any part of the world, it's known as a revolution. Time and space in this evolution. Coronavirus is upon us, as well as this cocksucker in the executive seat, because it is time during our evolution to initiate a conscious revolution. If you are not on the boat of a higher awareness yet, you need to open yourself up to awareness, maybe another avenue of spirituality to strengthen the mind and the body and the soul. Throw your Bible out and explore options of higher consciousness. This country is in desperate need of knowledge. And that definition of knowledge is knowledge of self, knowledge of the area and world around you. The condition of this country is a disaster. And to wrap this video up, the working class communities are deteriorating. Jobs may be available, but they are not accommodating the situations of parents and or families. At this point in time, state government should be discussing how do we make this employment opportunities that have opened up across the spectrum accessible to parents. Passing legislation in which would temporarily, for 3 to 6 months, give families of 4 that take home less than 20 grand a year, 20 grand, excuse me, yes, 20, maybe 15 grand a month, and under 50 grand a year, or 70 grand a year, depending on what you do for work and what you get paid hourly. Making daycare absolutely free for the time being until we can accommodate our country appropriately. This country is a joke because the individuals running our country are criminals. Your government is an organized crime, and your president is a fucking criminal. Should be held responsible for the 170,000 American citizens that have been taken by a virus that could have been under control with the proper leadership. To conclude the video, this needs to be said to the country because it's time somebody came up and actually addressed the country, spoke on behalf of the working class and low-income people in which are having these massive issues that are impacting their living residencies, access to food, and access to applicable and respectable and appropriate social safety nets. Pretty soon, in about a year, we will have over 200,000 casualties gone. 50% of this country is already homeless. 70% of this country is already homeless and unemployed. 60% of our child population is starving. I thought I would throw these numbers at America. And I actually request America on your free time to take time for self. After you watch this video, think about what you just heard. Get on your micro-idiot boxes and start utilizing these things to better your lives. The only tool that this fucking poor population has right now, and I myself included, has this right here. I would suggest maybe tossing $80 to anybody that is watching this on a public Wi-Fi and get yourself a phone. Open yourself up to the opportunities in which you can get yourself out of your situation. It just takes utilizing your machines. Machines should help us rise and take back our country and our democracy. This is not some Terminator shit. This is not some Predator, Alien versus Predator shit. This is reality. We need to utilize our technology to get us out of this fucking hole. I wish everybody nothing but the best of health, peace, and prosperity, love, family, and unity within your community. I'm out.